What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Living Large Retirement. My name is Andy, and joining as always is the expert on the matter, the CEO of Alloy Wealth Management, is Mark Henry. How are we doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are.
I am doing great. Every day is great when I get to learn something more from you, man.
I don't know about all that, but waking up is what's great for me.
It's a great step to everybody's first day, right? I mean,
it's how we are so blessed to live here in the United States of America. And I have viewers that watch me overseas and stuff, but at the end of the day, everyone should be so thankful just to get up.
Yep, just to get up, start another day.
I get another chance to fix all the mistakes I've made.
Exactly.
Another chance to be the husband that I want to be, the father that I want to be, the advisor that I want to be. It's just like it's another day to give.
Yeah, that's how I always view it too. You wake up to be the best version of yourself.
That's right.
Be even better than you were yesterday, last week, last month, whatever it may be. So nice to hear that we have that similar perspective on it. If you're new to the show, we go over all the different facets when it comes down to retirement, planning for it, how much money you might need.
That's right.
If you think about it, we're probably going to talk about it. And this one is a very interesting topic for us today because finding purpose in retirement. Let's call a spade a spade. As a 32-year-old male, when I think about retirement, I think about how many golf courses I'm going to be able to play.
Yeah.
That's what retirement is for me. But tell us a little bit more for everybody watching at home. How do you find purpose in retirement?
So here's the first thing. When I did this brand, my company is Alloy Wealth Management Incorporated, and Alloy Wealth. But I have a television show that airs. We're not syndicated yet, but we're all over the place, and a radio show I've had for over 15 years in the South. And when you think about living large, some people get it all wrong when it comes to that title, like, oh, it's about bragging. It has nothing to do with that. Listen, living large is about faith, family, fitness, finance, and friends. I want you to think about this idea of purpose, but as you think about it, this is where so many of the big box retail firms get retirement wrong for so many people. And I'm a Wall Street money manager, but Wall Street is not the end all. Finance is a part of it. Retirement is more than finance. Putting all your money in Wall Street and hoping to have a great retirement is a recipe for disaster. And yet I get paid to manage your money in Wall Street. Yeah.
Sure.
But don't put it all there.
Right.
Ask the people in '08 how that worked out. Right? I mean, let's be clear about this, right?
Thoughts about that.
Okay. So when I think about it, finance is one small piece of a retirement puzzle. I want you to think about it this way, Andy, at 32. So let's say you want to do this concept of FIRE, which is, where you retire early and stuff. Okay, great. Many of people in your generation are thinking about 50 being the retirement age. And so you say 32 and 50, that's 18 years. Yeah. Yeah. And you could put a plan together. I'm confident you could put a plan together to retire at 18 and live like nobody else 50 years old. And that's a cool thing. Yeah. For my generation, it seemed like it was always the 60 or 65 or something like that. For some people, 70. Okay. For me, it's probably never. I mean, I envision, if God's going to let me live long enough, I envision being 80 years old and a grumpy old man. I don't know about the grumpy part, but probably.
Definitely not grumpy.
Maybe I have a driver, and I get to pull up in front of the office. They see me through the blinds. He's here, clean up, and I'll go in there and bark a few orders and tell my driver to take me to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, that'd be a great lifestyle.
It's retirement with the spice of a little bit extra work.
Yeah, a little something of my thing that I've built. This company's going to go on long after I'm gone, and it's a legacy company, so that would inspire me. But when you think about this idea of purpose, think about it this way. You spend 30 years at the mill, at the plant, at the factory, in your business, whatever it is you do for a living, and you retire and you've got plenty of money, so the finance part's covered.
Sure.
You have no family and no friends. What kind of retirement does that sound like?
A depressing one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you've got family and friends and you've got money, and your health is absolutely horrible. You can't even get out to go do anything.
It's, again, very depressing.
You work till you were almost dead, and now you're just sitting there, can't even go out to enjoy your money or your friends.
You're so alone.
Okay, or you retire and you got great family and friends, and your health's really good, and you're broke. You're going to try to live off Social Security.
You won't have enough money to go enjoy that free time that you have.
And your friends aren't going to call you over much because they're afraid you're going to make them pay.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, it's the truth. Call it like it is.
Nobody likes a mooch.
You got to get all these correct. You got to get all these right. Well, unfortunately, and it shouldn't be this way, but many people define their life by their title. they see themselves at that place. So no one's ever talked to them. Their current big box retail advisors never discuss with them what it might look like to retire and what are they going to do. And do they find their security, their value in this position they've earned at their company? Mm-hmm. And then when people leave that, they feel lost.
Yeah.
We have to talk about, hey, this is why sometimes we encourage people to take retirement for a test drive. So what do you mean? Well, once we build a plan done by a certified financial planner and we show you that you can walk away from that job and financially you're going to be successful. Well, that gives you great empowerment.
Yeah.
I think about a lady that a few years ago, and it's been at least 3 or 4, came into me. She took us up on our offer to get a plan done for free by a certified financial planner. She had no intention of joining us, and she did, which is good for us and good for her, I hope. And as soon as she figured out she could retire, she said she wanted out of that job so bad it was unbelievable. She's been there a very long time. I won't name the company, but it's a gas company here in Charlotte.
Gotcha.
And she was ready to go. Too many new managers. They're doing things different. Change. That's the one equalizer in the world.
Constant change, it sounds like, too.
And she had a new supervisor and all that. So, okay. She said, I can't believe it. You've proven I can retire. And I said, yeah. I said, so when's the date? Let's get this plan in place. And she's like, well, okay, yeah. And so then that went on for a month and 2 months. She'd still not put a notice in. And now we're over 3 years later, and she still hasn't retired.
Wow.
And it's so funny because when I asked her why that first year, she said, Mark, I really like my job now. And I said, what changed? You get a new boss? You get a new... She goes, no, nothing. She said, every day I walk in it, I know if they look at me wrong, I can walk out. Now, I'd give them a notice, but I ain't giving them a long one.
Be professional about it, but still.
Yeah, but I'm out the door because she said, I could retire right now because you showed me how I could.
Yeah.
And she said, now I look at the job completely differently. She was working because she thought she had to, and now she's working because she wants to.
Yeah.
And it changed her outlook.
Wow.
Now think about that. So this idea of retirement and purpose, it's going to be many things for many different people. Mm-hmm. For me, again, I'm not going to retire, but I will take more time off later. And for me, that would involve travel, which I do a lot of travel now for speaking engagements and stuff, but that's work. This would be travel. I could envision my wife and I and our 3 dogs taking the camper and going places here in the United States that I haven't been. And I've really gotten into meditation and stoics and stuff. And so maybe, waking up at the beach one day, the mountains another day. And just
meditating on the top of the Grand Canyon sounds real nice.
Wouldn't that be incredible? Yeah. And just being at peace and being with God and asking what my purpose is and where does he want me to go next and leading and who can I help more and how do I give and give back more?
Sure.
For many people, it might be found in giving back to young people. They have a lot to offer. Mm-hmm. And so
family
it may be
or friends of family,
or it could be by giving their time in organizations or schools or other things.
Their
for some people, it could be teaching.
Power. Yeah.
Sure, it could be teaching.
Totally.
For others, it may be, and I've got many clients examples like this. I think about the ones that started a business, and this is one of the craziest stories I have, and it's a real one, and it's fabulous. These people bought an RV, a motorhome.
Sure.
And the wife, many years before retirement, had started selling, being a reseller of things. So she would literally go to yard sales and stuff. She was very specific. She started it with old T-shirts. Sounds crazy, but like logo T-shirts, old guitar bands, Daytona 96, motorcycle shirts, rock shirts, things like that. And she would really got into this. And then she would buy these and then resell them for a profit.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, this business just started doing pretty darn good on eBay.
Wow.
And so her husband decided to take early retirement, and he was going to help her because they had some income. They knew it was reliable, but with his help, it started growing. Well, next thing you know, they decided they wanted to travel, but they don't want to lose the income.
Right.
So they have the craziest business ever. They tow a little trailer with them behind this big 35, 40-foot RV. And they go to town around the United States. They show up during the week. They see what yard sale is going to be in the weekend.
Oh, wow.
They go to the yard sale, and they get there bright and early in the morning, and they buy everything.
Yeah.
They make a cash offer for everything they got. They load it all in the trailer and head off to their next spot. Then they sit there at the beach and go through all the stuff. Junk, giveaway, homeless shelter, we can sell.
Yep.
So they distribute it. They take what they're going to sell with them. They start taking pictures of them. Then they get on the road to go to the next place. They're listing all these items for sale.
Right.
Then they're stopping at the shipping depots with their accounts and wrapping and shipping and all that. They have turned this in. They are now making more money working part-time, fun time, traveling the United States than they ever made when they were actually working on their jobs.
But their purpose is like, yes, they're still making money, but like it's not what they built for their retirement. No, but like they're still traveling.
They're having the time of their lives. And think about the write-offs they're getting from a business perspective.
Yeah, well, yes, of course.
It's just unbelievable.
Of course.
So that is their purpose. I think of others that, like one in particular, husband and wife that dated in high school. And they had this idea, they were in the camping club and things like this, and they loved to hike and camp. Well, then they went off to different colleges, and life goes on, and boom, okay? So they meet years later, both divorced, still had kids. They blend a family back together, okay? Now they're retired. And their entire goal was they had always dreamed of hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Sure.
So they go buy a home up in Boone, so they could be near the trail. And these people, listen, and if they're watching, they know who I'm talking about, but it's okay. They were nowhere near, they had life happen. They were nowhere near the shape to go hike the Appalachian Trail 3 years ago. So they got base camp in Boone, and they have been working every day for 3 years, getting up with a purpose to exercise, to get physically fit, to get ready to do it. And guess what? In 25, they will hike the entire Appalachian Trail, and they are so ready for this trip. And these people are not 70 yet, but they're getting close, and they're in the best physical condition since they were kids in high school.
At 70.
It's almost 70.
Wow.
Not 70 yet, but almost 70.
But
think about that purpose that they have.
Yeah.
So it's this idea that we have to figure out, how is our time going to be spent? I think about another client that retired, very successful, very high net worth, and he's gone back to work at Lowe's. You say, what is that for?
Yeah, why?
Why? Well, it's so funny because during COVID, they had shifts at Lowe's, and like they would only let you go into the lunchroom at a certain time with this group, and another group came in and stuff. And this person had left his glasses in the room when it was his lunchtime.
Gotcha.
So he left them in there, walked out. The other crew comes in. He's like, oh, I left my glasses, got to go back in. So as he walked back in, he realized they were talking about him. And somebody had made a comment as he was walking in the door about, yeah, that guy's the nicest guy ever, but it's so sad that he has to work at this stage of life and stuff. And a younger person said, I can promise you that that'll never be me. Well, the reality is they didn't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know what it takes to buy a Lowe's, but I'm pretty sure this client's close. He could get one of them. He's got that kind of money.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason he's working is because he wants to stay married.
Wants to stay married?
Wants to stay married. Yeah, he's got almost 36 years in.
Gotcha.
Wants to stay married. And what he realized is he could only take so much time doing golf. And if he was home anymore, then it wasn't going to work out that way. So he found purpose by going to Lowe's and helping all the knuckleheads your age that don't know what a widget or a gidget is.
Absolutely.
So he can tell you how to fix the plumbing. And that gets him out of the house plus a few days a week of golf.
Keeps him busy.
And they're going to stay married for 70 years.
It's also like that same stability, like it's the same conversation with pensions. It's everything that we've come to know and expect. Even going into retirement, now you do have all of that extra free time.
Correct.
But how do you normalize that when you are home 7 days a week?
And how do you make yourself not put your value in this world on some job that at the end of the day it didn't even really matter, most likely, but it was that title they gave you. And people find a lot, and this happened during during the COVID. I saw so many people that were such happy couples divorce, and I had to choose which one we were going to stay working with and stuff. It was horrible, and it should have never happened. But being locked up at home with nothing to do is not the right answer. Let's be very clear about that. But here's the day. When you think about maybe retiring in 5 years, start to discuss with your family, with your spouse, whoever you have in your life, what is going to be your purpose? How are you going to share your story? And how are you going to make a difference in the lives of others, just like we try to do each and every week, several times a week on this channel. Hey, if you liked this content at all, or even if you don't, just go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It'll still help me. But put comments in there. I'm the guy that just tells it like it is. Only if you like me, comment. No. If you don't like me, comment anyway.
And tell us as well. Like if you're listening to this, you're in the middle of retirement as well. What's your purpose? Or if you're about to retire as well, let us know. Share your story in the comments as well. We'd love to hear about what your purpose is in the middle of retirement, because it is a big question, being able to normalize having all that extra time to spend with your friends and family. But that's going to do it, at least for this topic and today, for Living Large Retirement. On behalf of everybody involved, we'll see you on the next one.